Hi everybody, how are you doing? So this is my early 75 green cloverleaf, and it's got the same 2.5 litre Busso V6 that was fitted to the earlier and much more delicately pretty GT V6. So this car was partially rebuilt during lockdown a few years ago, and it's been stored away in a garage ever since. So it's mechanically good, it's had a lot of work done, but it needs recommissioning and a few issues solved before I can MOT it and put it back on the road again. So thanks to fellow Alfa fans Archie and his son James up in Ayrshire in Scotland for selling me the car and helping me transport it the 450 odd miles down to Devon. Cheers lads. Now this is the first in a series of videos on this car as I sort it out and get it driving again, but today I'll quickly show you around the 75 what kind of condition it's in right now. Yes. Okay, so here it is, my 1986 Alfa 75 green cloverleaf, which I got recently after selling a car. More information about which car later, but it was a purchase from a nice guy up in Scotland called Archie. Cheers Archie. So it's not completely original because it's got a twin spark interior, which I'll show you in a sec. There's also a sunroof fitted, which wasn't fitted by the factory, and we've only got one wind deflector. There should either be two or none apparently, but there isn't any corrosion around the fuel filler, which is very common, certainly on 33s. It's got the ducktail spoiler, which is nice. So it's the early 6-valve engine, which is the earlier version of the Busso V6 2.5 litre. The car's in pretty good condition really. It's got the body kit, which is great. It's also got Revolution style alloys, which were refurbished when the car was taken off the road and stripped, and quite a bit of work was done to the car. The paint seems to be original, and there's a couple of blemishes, the worst of which probably is a big scratch on the bonnet, which probably mean that the bonnet will need to be resprayed. It has got a few nasty little dings on it, and as well as the scratch, it's also got a little bit of rust on the leading edge, which is just superficial, so that's going to need sorted out. But yeah, in terms of what the car needs, I'll do a quick roundup of that now. So the car was completely stripped inside, and presumably because the original green cloverleaf interior was probably knackered. The car has what I would describe as a very rudimentary early computer, which goes haywire as soon as you switch the ignition on, which is a pretty common thing. But all the switchgear seems to work. Obviously haven't tested the heating yet because I haven't actually run the car, and the reason for that will become apparent in a minute. So typical Alfa 75 weirdness. The handbrake apparently has a tendency to nip your skin because of this catch, which hasn't done it to me yet, but no doubt it will. It's very idiosyncratic stuff. These are the window switches for the back seat, which is a bit of a strange place to put them, but not quite as strange as the window switches for the front windows, which are up here on the roof. Yeah, okay. The roof lining is missing at the moment. Obviously that'll have to be replaced, but at least the original insulation, which is a kind of a compressed cardboard stroke foamy affair, is still in place. The sunroof works, and all the electrics seem to work as well, which is good. Bit of a bonus. Has obviously been looked after. All the door shuts are good. There doesn't seem to be any reason for concern anywhere here. It's a veritable paradise of velour. As you can see, the underneath of the car has had quite a lot of attention. How much of this is hiding stuff, only time will tell. But I've got some replacement Coney adjustable shock absorbers to go on this car. But now to get to the reason why the car isn't running currently. But yes, you may notice that something is missing. And that thing is a fuel tank. No fuel tank. So this is the original tank. And as you can see, it's not in the best of condition. Yeah, it's quite rusty, but also worse, somebody has welded a patch on the front of it because of the problems that typically happen with these tanks, which is the inlet, which should look like this. Yeah, so somebody's cut this whole section out and welded a patch on with the fuel pickup pipe, which is this bit here. This obviously rusts for a pastime when it's put in the, in front of the road salt, water, all that kind of stuff. This, I'm very happy to say, is a brand new tank, which came courtesy of a very nice gentleman in near Salzburg in Austria. Thank you very much, Norbert. Very excellent service. Appreciate that. This tank is brand new. It's all nice and shiny and new inside. So big thanks to Gary, my mate here, who's helping me to, well, I say he's helping me. He's actually doing pretty much all of it. He's taken out the old fuel pickup pipe and trimmed it to size out of that patch, and basically means that I can fit it to the new tank. This one we're hoping to repair, de-rust it and get it back to a usable state, and then I can sell that to try and recoup some of the significant cost of buying this one. We'll have a quick look under the bonnet when I picked it up, and I had to spend a bit of time cleaning the cam covers because they were covered in white aluminium corrosion. The engine's been rebuilt, I'm happy to say, new radiator. I've just put a new air filter in there, a washable one from Piper Cross. The previous one looked like this. Yeah, well, whatever. And obviously it still needs a bit of work. It still needs cleaning and a bit of powder coating and touching up to make it look nice. But we will get it running shortly, just as soon as the fuel tank is fitted, and we test it out. So there you have it. I'm looking forward to driving this one because although the 75 is considered by some to be a bit, how can we put it, visually challenged perhaps, it is also supposed to be one of the better driving Alfas because obviously the transaxle at the back of the car gives it better weight distribution, and the sound of the early V6 booster engines, a lot of people also think is better than any of the later ones. It's certainly got a raspier nature. But anyway, I'm looking forward to driving that one once we get the fuel tank hooked up and obviously the engine's running again. I'll take it for an MOT, hopefully it'll pass, and then I'll be able to do a road test, which will be fun. So I'll see you in the subsequent videos that are going to be made about this car and its progress in the next few weeks. So keep watching. Cheers. So come on then, tell me what you think, what you really think. Is it square edge 1980s retro cool, or is it just a weird and fugly design thrown together using leftover bits from a previous model? Well, after asking a few people, it would seem that the answer lies partly in how old you happen to be right now. You see, this is a car that I never really paid much attention to when I was younger, as I was always a fan of swoopy 60s and 70s car styling like the Lamborghini Miura, the Jaguar E-Type and the Ferrari GTO. So to me at the time, the brutalist themes of many 80s designs seemed like a backward step. I mean, you've got to compare something like the stunning 1970s Maserati Merak to the 1980s Quattroporte, for example.
Ooh.
Yes, the Quattroporte is stylish and it's interesting, but is it beautiful? Is it better looking than the Merak? So in the 1980s you had brutalist buildings, brutalist furnishings, power dressing, big shoulder pads, big hair, and lots of exaggerated styling. The 75 was designed against the backdrop of this culture of excess and in-your-face flamboyance. Also, computerization had begun and some of the industrial design process had begun to use computers to assist with styling and packaging of cars. So a left-field design that completely broke with Alfa's previous design language was perhaps not so surprising.
Efficiency or ease of manufacture. Not a millimetre of the new 75 structure escapes this minute scrutiny of its construction. It is a complex process using the latest in computer technology to visualize the new car's structures in a three-dimensional form, an intelligent symbiosis of man and machine brought together to guarantee the quality and the character of Alfa Romeo.
So then, hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of the 75. Is it Sub-Zero retro cool, or does looking at it just make you feel a little bit sick? There will be more updates on this build very soon. But what comes next on the Alfa Nut channel? Well, I'm working on a few new videos right now, including a feature on a beautiful 3-litre V6 GTV and an upcoming 3-part series on the Alfa Giulietta. So yeah, the Giulietta, interesting little car. In light of the fact that Alfa have just announced that they're going to be producing another small car, probably about the same size, what is it like to drive and own a Giulietta? What is it like to modify one up to 300 bhp? And finally, the return of my popular hacks videos, where I'll show you some little known or secret features of the Giulietta, some of which you may not have been aware of. So stay tuned for my new weekly episodes, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. I can only do this with your help. So take care, and I'll catch you in the next video.